Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be making my Skeleton King soap. I make a lot of different soap designs and a lot of them are pretty intricate. And this one is my easiest one, hands down. When I tell people that, they find it hard to believe, but the mold really does all of the work. This is just super simple. Chop up the soap, fragrance it and color it, pour it in there, and pop it out when it hardens. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. Before I get started with the project, I'm going to break down all of the stuff that I will be using, and if you would like to try working with this kind of soap, that you will also need. So this is melt and pour soap. There's different types of soap. There is soaps that involve mixing oils and lye, and that is something you want to work up to if you're interested in soap making. Lye is super caustic, it could blind you, it could burn you. This is a good place to start. So this is melt and pour soap, and what it is just a big block, and you cut it up and you melt it down in the microwave, and then you fragrance it and you color it and you pour it into your molds, and then when it hardens you pop it out and you have a bar of soap that can be used right away. The important thing about soap making is any fragrance oils that you use and any colorants that you use have to be skin safe. This is a colorant that I got from brambleberry.com. It's where I get a lot of my soap making stuff. That's also where my fragrance oil came from, and I'll leave a link for that. I'm going to be using this fragrance oil today. It's called Shave and a Haircut, and I really like it. It's supposed to be a masculine scent, but I find it to be very unisex, and it's what I use in my personal soap. So that's what we're going to be using in this project today. Another thing I'll be using is rubbing alcohol. It could be 91% or it could be 99%. And what it does is when you melt down the soap and pour it into the mold, there will be a lot of bubbles, and you'll see when we get there. But I'll use this, and it's commonly used, to spray and release all of those bubbles. It'll pop them all. And it'll also, when we're working with a mold that has all kinds of like cavities and depths and all of that, and it'll help the soap like get all up into those little crevices. Other things I'm going to be using are a cutting board, a glass measuring cup for melting down the soap in the microwave, and a spoon for mixing, and I'm also going to be using these gloves. When I work with resin, I use higher quality gloves, but with soap making, I tend to go through them a lot quicker, so I just use these cheap ones. The molds we're going to be working with is this one, of course. It's this Skeleton King one. I got it online. It was like $12, which is honestly kind of unheard of. Molds tend to get pretty pricey, so getting one that was this size for that price was really impressive. It took a while to get here. It took a few weeks, but it was totally worth it, and I'll leave the link for that as well. Okay, so I got my gloves on and I got a chunk of soap ready to be cut up. So now I'm going to cut it into uniform cubes, and you want to try and make sure that your cubes are all the same size so they melt evenly and uniformly in the microwave. I got this soap at Hobby Lobby. It was $20, but if you use the 40 off coupon, then it puts it down to like 14 something. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all chopped up. I'm going to fast forward through that because, you know, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. Alright, so I got my soap all chopped up, and now I'm going to get ready to put it in the microwave. The soap is in the microwave, and now I'm going to get ready to heat it up. So I'm going to type in, we'll go with 3 minutes. One thing I like to do, but it's not really necessary, is turn the power level down. If you're paying attention to your soap melting, it's not really that much of an issue. And one piece of advice I do have is don't step away from it. Like, stay on it and keep opening the microwave and stir it so you make sure you don't burn it. If you burn it, it'll smell really bad and it'll start to thicken up really quick, and it'll get something called glycerin dew, which is totally harmless, but it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing. So I have it at set 3 minutes. We're gonna go power level, and we'll go 40. All right, now we're gonna start. So I'll open it up, see where it's at. It's starting to soften up, but it's nowhere near ready. Here's what it looks like now that it's starting to melt down. You see there's still some chunks in there, so I'm gonna stir it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it back in the microwave for probably about 20 seconds. I think we'll do it. All right, now I got my soap all melted, and I'm going to get ready to color it and fragrance it. So I'm going to use this liquid colorant that's specifically for soap. I'm just going to add a few drops. Let's start with 3 and see how that looks. It's always a good idea to go easy on the color right away. You can always add more if you want, but you can't take away. So it looks like 3 drops is good for this. Now I'm going to add my fragrance oil. Usage rates for fragrance oils are typically about a teaspoon per pound of soap. You could do a little less and you can do a little more and it'll be fine. For something this size, I'll do about 4 drops. I'm going to take these gloves off so that crinkling sound stops. Okay. So this is all mixed up and ready to go. Now we're going to use our rubbing alcohol. It could be 91 or 99. I just moved some of this into here, so it's the same thing. It's just rubbing alcohol. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the inside of my mold really well. And I'll spray the top of this so you can see what it does. It'll dissipate those bubbles. So I got the stuff all mixed up. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. Okay, now that it's all poured into the mold, I'm going to spray the top to get rid of those bubbles. And now I'm going to leave it to set for a while. And this kind of soap sets up pretty quick. So I'm thinking probably in about 5 minutes I'll be able to get that out of the mold. And I have some extra soap left over. It can be remelted and reused. All I have to do is put it back in the microwave for a few seconds. You can reheat it probably about 3 times. I don't suggest any more after that because then it starts to thicken up and it'll get that glycerin dew that I was talking about. So we're going to leave this and then we'll come back in a few minutes. The soap is all hardened up now and now we can take it out of the mold. So we're going to break that seal and just pop it out. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, I've left all of my contact info in the area beneath my video. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and all of those things that go with YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a great day.